Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back, it's Jordan here. I actually just finished hauling in this massive bag of Lego because I just finished my Lego store April 1st shopping haul. I got 2 epic sets, the D&D set and also the Batman art. This promo looks pretty cool as well. Very neat. The problem is I put it back by the front door because I don't have time to build Lego today. I need to prepare for the mural, which is starting tomorrow. I also want to talk a little bit more about the Lego City table layout. I know it's a big topic of discussion and I've talked about it lots, but that's because it's very important. I've read a lot of comments from my previous video when I showcased the table designs, and I've taken a lot of those into consideration, and I want to share my thoughts with you in this video here today. So now that I'm here, I've got to do some pretty exciting stuff. Got to prep for the mural artist who is coming here tomorrow. And in order to prep for that, I've got to do some wall sanding. So I've got my sanding sponge here. And I'm essentially just going around and sanding walls. Going like this. Yeah, I actually went to Home Depot. And while I was there, I bought a new attachment for my vacuum. So the last time I was there, I bought an attachment for my shop vac, and it was actually too big. I didn't realize that there was multiple sizes, so I returned it and I bought the correct size. So this is going to match up nicely with my shop vac. And then once I'm done sanding, I'll be able to go through here, vacuum up all this stuff. In fact, I want to vacuum this whole area. So vacuum everything and then wet mop this whole area as well, just to pick up all the fine dust. So sanding, vacuuming, and mopping. Not building the Gotham City skyline. Not building the Dungeons and Dragons set. Just fun stuff here at the Lego studio today. I'm gonna get a little bit of a workout though. You know, I'm a little bit disappointed because I forgot my stereo at home. I brought it home for the Whatnot stream because I have music going on in the background, and then I forgot to bring it back. So I can't even listen to music while I'm doing this. A little bit disappointing, but I guess I better get to it because there's lots of patches to sand. Now the wall is pretty well sanded down, but I will say this wall is like sort of beyond repair in some areas, like where these huge holes are. Some of the drywall around the edge of them is sort of like protruding out a bit, but once you paint over that, you're not really gonna see it. And like, look at this massive hole in the bottom here and all of this patchwork. So once the mural is done, we're gonna put like a big baseboard, just gonna cut some wood and put a massive baseboard on the bottom. That's gonna cover up all that ugly stuff anyway. For the most part, I'm pretty satisfied with the way that it's patched up though. Like, it's pretty smooth everywhere. Just sort of go around and rub your hand over it and sort of make sure it's all smooth. There are some spots that might benefit from a little bit more mud, like for example right there. So I'll have to go in and just add a bit more mud, just a second coat of mud on some of these massive spots. But beyond that, I'm pretty happy with the outcome of the patch job there. Now something else that I need to do is prep this garage door for painting. I essentially need to grab a rag or a mop and wipe this whole door down. So that's going to be exhilarating. I guess I'm going to try and tackle that today. However, for the very top, I'm probably going to need a scissor lift, which is actually being delivered tomorrow. It looks like a completely different place in here. I just finished mopping. And guess who's coming to inspect it? Mrs. Bricksie, and we're also bringing the kids here for the very first time. So they're going to be able to run around. Obviously, Mrs. Bricksie and I will be keeping a close eye on them because we don't want them playing within wood and conduit, etc. But I think it's gonna be cool to have them just ripping around the studio. Hey, what's up, kids? This is where Dad's been hiding out for the last month. That's a dirty shop vac now. Be very loud if you flick that switch. Oh, Mrs. Bricksy brought us some Tim Hortons too. Look at this place, Ben.
They care more about the food.
This will be our home away from home, kids.
Come on, Benny. Look at all the space. So much space to dance in here. Whee! Well, they love it here. It'll definitely be a regular occurrence bringing them here. Oh, let's not play with that. Let's not play with that. That's dirty.
So actually the painter for the mural, that is, came by about 10 minutes ago just to confirm colors. And the colors look really good. And I am super excited because we're starting that tomorrow. I asked him if I need to clean this wall, and he said, no, don't worry about it. What I should have said is, I'm cleaning that wall, because I can't stand to look at it anymore. I am doing it with just some great value lemon cleaner, because I don't want to bring a big pail up here. And the only pail that I have is the mop bucket, which is disgusting at this point. But yeah, the mural is starting tomorrow, and the colors look fine. And the kids are having a good time here. We've been just buzzing around for like an hour and a half. And once we're fully set up here, this is definitely going to be our home away from home. Well, yeah, what a difference this makes, hey? And this nicely cleaned here. I think my terry towel is a little bit dirty. Nice. You like that, Benjamin? Andale, andale. I feel pretty good that everything's cleaned up now. I also grabbed that wet rag and I cleaned the ductwork as well. So everything is neat and tidy for tomorrow. Hey, I want to talk a little bit about the Lego City. I know I made a video yesterday talking about the potential Lego City tables that I want to build, and I designed them on SketchUp. And the idea is to build this giant rectangular city, which is going to be centered in this bay. And it's approximately 3.5 times the size of my current Lego City, which I think is vital. I want to build as big as I possibly can build because I've got a lot of ideas. I want to build a train yard. I want to build a boatyard. I want to have an island for the mansion. I want to integrate the ski hill, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the thing is I already have a lot of the parts or the builds ready to go to do that. So it's crazy to think that, yes, it is 3.5 times larger or whatever it is. I forget the math. But it's crazy to think that, like right off the hop, I'm probably going to be able to double the size of my city just using the components that I have already built. Simpson's house, Quickie Mart, Home Alone house, all the skyscrapers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I wanted to maximize the size of the Lego City. Now, if you watch that video, there's been a lot of concern in regards to the table layout, saying that one of the main reasons that I wanted to move to the new studio is that I wanted to have more accessibility, and the fact that I'm building a city that still has access points that I have to crawl to under and reach up through sort of defeats the purpose of getting this new studio. That wasn't entirely the reason why I wanted a new studio. The other reason was because my basement was completely full. The Lego City was maxed out. We couldn't fit any more, or we can't fit any more Lego in that current layout, and any more Lego in that room in general. So the number one reason why I wanted a larger studio is because we wanted more space. Another reason why we wanted a larger studio to accommodate a larger Lego City is so that we could walk around the city 360 degrees. That means I'm going to have 360 different points of view in the city. I'm going to be able to see it from 360 different points, 360 different angles. And that actually doesn't even include the 6 access holes that I'll be able to crawl under the table to and pop up through and see 360 more views from every single one of those access holes. So I think the design that I came up with doesn't really limit the ability for us to observe the Lego City. We're going to be able to see it just fine because, unlike the current layout, I'm going to be able to walk around the entire city. And that is one of the main highlights of this layout. Now I have laid some carpet tile here, and it is 42 inches away from this wall. And this is how much space we're gonna have to be able to walk around the city, which is actually pretty substantial. It's pretty nice, and I'm excited about that. Now the back there, it's not gonna be this big, it's actually gonna be larger. I've decided that I'm gonna leave it 4 feet or 48 inches away from the back door, just so there's room at the back door. Now, when I actually get around to constructing these tables, I've discussed this many times, there's gonna be the large tables running like this, and then they're actually gonna be connected. And there's 3 different points of connection between these large table frames. Now, what I'm probably gonna do is when I connect these tables, I'm actually going to leave the inserts on the sides specifically out of the build at first. So it's going to be that continuous capital I shape that I've been talking about for quite some time, so that there's still lots of accessibility to the Lego City. When I run out of space, or if I'm not liking the layout with that capital I, continuous capital I table layout, then of course I will fill in those spots, which of course will make it harder to access certain sections of the Lego City. However, with that said, I will be able to walk around the city 360 degrees. So for example, if I am placing a large mountain, I will be able to place it on the table here, boop, and push it as far as I can go. So there's not a need for me to take this large mountain, like I currently have right now in the Lego room, and go under the table with this massive mountain and pop up through the access hole with this massive mountain, because I can walk around the city 360 degrees. For example, right now where the zoo was, I had to like pop through the access hole with all of those different modules. But with this design, I would simply just walk to where the zoo is, pop it on the table and slide it, then go under, pop up through the access hole and move it where it needs to go. So with the 360 degree access, it's going to make it a lot more accessible and also give us more points of view. Something I do want to try and do is, once again, make those sections that fill in the sides removable. And I hope when we have the subway going around that I'll be able to integrate that into a removable sort of modular style as well. How I'm going to do that, I haven't decided yet. There's been lots of comments about putting it on wheels, but it's going to be awfully hard to move a section piece of wood that's 65 inches and wheel it out here in this small amount of space that I have. Of course, there are different table layouts that I could do. I could do it like the model railroader guys, or like what you see in Lego shows, where essentially it's just tables that form a big rectangle, and then people stand behind the tables and you've got the Lego city in front of you. That is beautiful. However, I'm not looking to move into a new studio space and have the same size city. Because if I do something that offers us 100% accessibility, which is brilliant, it's not going to be much larger than my current layout, maybe double. But the problem is I can currently fill a city that is double right now with the stuff that I have under the table, in my drawers, etc. So I don't want a city that's twice the size. I want a city that's nearly 4 times the size. And in order to do that, I need to run with the table layout that I have in mind. Because if I do other layouts, such as a perimeter layout, there's going to be more space dedicated to walkways, therefore less space dedicated to Lego, and then I'm going to run out of space quickly. That's why I came up with the table designs that I presented the other day, because I have built lots of different cities before. If you've been following my channel for quite some time, then you probably know that. Once upon a time, I did have a perimeter layout. It was pretty cool. It didn't last that long because I ran out of room. Once upon a time, I did have a small rectangular layout that you could access from both sides. Ran out of room, bought a new house. Did another rectangular layout. Ran out of room, moved the shelving, built something that was accessible. It was like the capital E shape, if you remember that. Ran out of room, filled it in. So what am I going to do here? I'm gonna go big or go home because I guarantee I'll run out of room. And I wanna try and future-proof that. That's why I'm building the large Lego city tables that I presented in the videos the other day. There's been lots of concern about my Lego city layouts and the tables that I want to build. Keep in mind, I've been building Lego city tables for 7 years. I've learned lots along the way, and I want to do things the way that I want to do things. But I do appreciate your comments, I do appreciate your critiques, and I do appreciate your wisdom as well in regards to the spacing of the base plates, the extra millimeter that is created. That was a very helpful tip. Thank you so much in regards to that. Oh, I want to talk about that too. I think this time around, I'm actually not going to get the lumber pre-cut from the hardware store. I'm going to pre-cut it myself. So I'm going to build one long section. I'm going to layer base plates and make sure everything is perfect before I cut any more lumber. The nice thing about the way that I'm going to build this is the frames themselves, the size of the frames are irrelevant. It's all about the stuff that goes on top. So if I build one section and I find, uh-oh, it's off by 0.5 millimeter, okay, I know the next ones have to be cut 0.5 millimeter larger or 0.5 millimeter smaller, etc. So I'm going to build them in sections and test it as I build it with base plates to make sure that everything is perfect. I gotta go home and start building those sets. I wanna do a time-lapse style build on that Batman art. I think it would be absolutely fantastic, but I also wanna time-lapse the painting of the mural, which is happening tomorrow. Either way, please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned. Farewell.